Hey guys, a little bit different view here today, but this is a question I get asked really often in almost every single shop I go into. What tools do we keep on press or close to our press? And I can tell you from experience, this works in any shop, any size, anywhere, and I've utilized this at every shop I've ever managed, from the very biggest ones to the very tiny ones. So this is applicable to everyone. Something to keep in mind with the tools that your employees are going to use on press, you want them to be within a 3-foot radius of where their workstation is, because I want them to know where it's at, to be able to find it really quickly all the time. Those other tools that maybe you only use once or twice a year, hold down pallets, things like that, get that out of here. You know, they know where it's at and they can go get it when that job arises, but they're also not tripping and stumbling over it all the time. So it's a very condensed grouping of the tools that we need regularly and daily, but also the stuff we don't need is out of our work area. So I'm a big proponent of that. Keep what you need close by, get the other stuff out. So the other important thing to notice with all the stuff we have, it's labeled of where it needs to go, and a lot of it's even outlined. That way, if it's not there, if it's missing, we know where to put it back to, or we know we need to order more of it. So that's a great tip and easy thing to do as well. So let's get into what we actually have. Over here we have a cart, and any carts or tables we have in our shop are either labeled ink or no ink. No ink means they are perfectly clean. Those are for garments to get laid out of. Ink means you can set your ink down on. We have very few things labeled like that, but that is one that is like that you can put the dirty stuff on. So what we have here, we have a bottle of Easy Way 842. This is Plastisol press wash. We have, it's a squeeze bottle, but it's CCI Top Bond water-based palette adhesive. That's what we use all day, every day. And then we also have, this is just a spray bottle of water, H2O. And the reason we have that is because A, we use it to rehydrate and mist stuff down when we're running water-based inks. B, we use it to clean off and scrub off our platens all the time in conjunction with that water-based adhesive when they get a bunch of lint built up in them. Quickly spray it down, wipe it off, refreshes that tack right back up again. So that's what we have there. Of course, a roll of screen tape, and then down here, this is something more for water-based shops. We have a 5-gallon bucket of water that just sits there all the time. When we're pulling stuff out or doing a tear down for a water-based job, we'll throw squeegees, flood bars, things like that in there to keep them hydrated and dry, and then we'll take them off and rinse them down completely when we're done. But while we're tearing out the rest, it keeps them wet and moist. That way they're not drying up and harder to clean later on. So that's what we have there. An awesome little thing that we have is this little guy. This is a magnetic parts holder. You can get this at any auto parts store. And the main thing we use it for is we put utility knife blades in it, because my guys like these to be able to trim out their pallet paper. They don't like them in the holders because it's bulky and gets in the way, so they just like a free form blade to quickly trim them out with. But if you just have those laying all over, it's not a very safe shop, so you get this wonderful little magnetic parts holder to keep those in. The other big upside of this is come hoodie season, when you are running web tack all the time, this little magnetic thing is great to have around to take your can of tack and put it in. So a lot of shops that I've worked at, they will set it up on their presses, especially if they are MHM style and have that kind of little shelf there you can set it on. But what can happen is then they knock it off into the screen or whatever. That prevents that from happening. So for $9.99, that's a great little piece of equipment. So that's what we have here. The other thing we have, let's see, yes, you can see it in the shop, is these little guys are amazing too. Again, they're just magnetic. So this stuff's really easy to get, stick on anywhere. You get these at Harbor Freight for about $9.99 as well. Maybe they've gone up, but I don't know. But it just holds 2 cans, and you can stick them to the sides of your dryers. That way they're always there, and you can put your aerosols in them. So the aerosols we have are, we keep web tack around for fleece season. We also keep Super Flash, and that we use for quick setups, or say we're to the end of a run, we're starting to lose our pallet tack, and we just need to get 1 or 2. We'll hit it with this real quick, but this is used very, very, very sparingly. This will get your shop looking fuzzy and terrible pretty quick. So use that very sparingly. And yeah, and then the web for hoodie season. That's all the aerosols we use. We do not use any aerosol screen opener. It is very dangerous and toxic and everything else. So that's why we use press wash. I don't want that stuff getting in the air and getting into our lungs at all. So there's what we have on the front end of our press. The other thing that we kind of have is I usually have some sort of little shelf system right under the nose, and that's got cards in it, just ink cleanup cards in it, so that's always readily available to grab those at all times too and use that. So that's it. If you have any questions on this, or you think we're missing out on something, or there's something you see that I didn't show you, shoot me a question and I'll get it answered.